And when I'm with all my family members, all the friends of Mumbai, it's...
EY Entrepreneur of the Year, India, 27 years, celebrating shapers of India's future.
Year program. I came here in 2018 at the Taj Lands End. Again in 2020. I think last year I addressed you virtually. I wanted to address you virtually again today, but I couldn't say no to my very dear friend and somebody who has truly served the nation very honorably. Rajiv Memani has, over the years, not only been a great friend and well-wisher, but somebody who spoke his mind, criticized us, criticized me personally, given me a lot of grief, but always for my good. And I really appreciate your friendship and will hope that you will continue to always be a part of my life. Thank you very much, Rajiv. A big congratulations to all the finalists, to all the winners of the Entrepreneur of the Year award. Each one of you truly deserves to be recognized. What you have achieved, many of you in a short period of time, is phenomenal. That is what defines New India. That is the future of India. And you are all role models who will, I'm sure, in the years to come, mentor and encourage many more entrepreneurs, many more startups as they move up in their journey to explore uncharted territories. I wonder if you noticed how the composition of the ENY awards is changing over the years. Even until 8 or 9 years ago, you would usually have the traditional old age industry being recognized. You would have steel mill owners and cement plant owners. बड़े-बड़े घराने के लोगों को award मिलते थे. I'm not suggesting that ENY would check the billing to that company. But this is how India is evolving. This is how today our unicorns coming up with humble beginnings, exploring the unknown, innovating, and willing to take risk are changing the landscape of India. And that is what the future is going to be all about. I saw that in 3 or 4 cases we had startups. 3 cases we had high quality electronics components or electronic goods manufacturers. Finance or technology has an important role to play in our lives today. And very clearly, it is evident that youth power is becoming very relevant for India's growth story. I was seeing the executives of the companies talk about their company, their founders, and I could clearly see how important human capital and passion in the job was evident in the comments that we just heard. And that brings me to the subject of artificial intelligence, which is clearly very much in our minds. We've just concluded a very, very successful AI summit. Of course, the opposition doesn't seem to be able to celebrate anything that good that happens in India. So they decide to go topless. But I think in any case they've lost their shirt. The fact of life is today, India is becoming a very important player when it comes to technology, when it comes to talent and skill required to engage with technology at scale. And across the world, Indian talent is respected, is wanted, and is giving very, very profound results. Some people are worried about the impact of AI on jobs in the Indian economy. I, for one, am not at all worried. I can clearly see before my eyes how the nature of job may certainly change. Salary levels may also go up, which is good for the economy. But we are going to need more and more talent as India uses artificial intelligence for its own growth story, providing services to the rest of the world, expanding our exports and services, our talent serving across borders, because today there is no talent comparable to the Indian youth. The enthusiasm, the aspiration brings in results. And I'm very confident that our software companies, our startups, our innovation-based industries will come up to speed. I have no doubt in my mind that the more artificial intelligence self-perpetuates and comes up with more modern or faster models, better LLMs, better applications of AI, you'll start seeing cybersecurity threats. You'll start needing people to safeguard your interests. You'll start seeing bots feeding in garbage into databases. You'll need to scrub those databases. And end of the day, I don't know anybody in this room who's going to be willing to place a bet and use an AI-generated document, whatever it may be, including a speech, because you don't know what point of data would have messed it up. And you land up like Chatur of Three Idiots. So very clearly, the more we engage with technology, the more we are going to need human skills, human talent. New opportunities will open up. Our service sector, our software industry, our law firms, our professional firms are also evolving with the times. The nature of work will become more superior. Certainly, just like the Y2K moment, where India got a lot of opportunity when the world thought the sky is going to fall on their head. But after 1st January 2000, we never looked back. It was a journey upward all the way. I see AI at the cusp of a very, very powerful revolution for the better, for India, for Indian companies, for Indian businesses, for the 2.3 million STEM graduates that come out of college every year in India. New opportunities, upgraded opportunities, better profits, better assignments, greater exports. And that is why the AI Summit was very important for us. We have showcased to the world our talent. The world was amazed at what they experienced over the last week in Delhi. And I dare say, going forward, it's going to be a win-win for India, just like the 8 FTAs that we have finalized in the last 4.5 years, 3.5 years, each of them with developed countries. And 9 with the US also, 9 FTAs, 38 countries. All of them having high per capita incomes who don't compete with us, who are complementary to our requirements, who support the Indian economic growth story. These free trade agreements, ladies and gentlemen, are going to help us go global. They're going to help us take our merchandise, our services to developed nations who need these services, who need these goods, particularly the labor-intensive stuff, what our fishermen come out with, what our farmers produce. These are products that are needed in the world. And friends, when we look at these 38 geographies, effectively we have today 2/3 of the global trade covered by the free trade agreements that India has entered into. And collectively, we are now able to be a part of global value chains which will provide opportunities to India, Indian businesses, Indian youth. We are now a part of opportunities around the world for people mobility. We will be a part of innovation networks. We are strengthening our own ability to serve the world from India, to make in India for the world. And no country in the world, friends, has become a developed nation by keeping their borders closed. Only those countries who have innovated, only those countries who have engaged with the world, only those countries, as I heard the panel also discuss, who are willing to accept competition, bring efficiency, become more competitive. It is those countries who capture the world. It is those countries who can aspire, as Uday Bhai said, to become in the top 2 countries. That's the first time I heard that. We always used to talk about the top 3. But I'm delighted that you've set the benchmark even higher. We must aspire to be amongst the top 2 countries in the world. Of course, we want to do it in a democratic framework. We are not looking at emulating the Chinese story, Sajanji. Because we are human. Because we have a heart. Because we are not going to tell our residents of Palghar that we throw you out overnight because a bullet train has to come up over there. We'll do it the Indian way. We'll do it with love and affection. We will not tell all the residents of a city that you have to leave your city for a month of 15 days when the Olympics is going to be played in that city, just because we want to showcase or keep the security good or showcase a clean city. The Chinese story is not something India should ever look to emulate. The Chinese story can be good only if you are willing to learn from them efficiency, only if you are willing to learn from them scale. But we must progress our economy with a heart, and I think India has shown to the world and earned the trust of the world today, because India's growth story is inclusive, India's growth story is sustainable, India's growth story rests on value systems. As Prime Minister says, Vikas bhi, Virasat bhi. Our culture, our traditions, our family value systems, our rich heritage, that is what our power is derived from. And I have no doubt in my mind, India is poised for a very, very bright future. Our entrepreneurs will take this country to greater heights. Our startups, our job creators have changed the mindset of young India. Our young women, sisters, daughters, now powering the economy, joining the formal workforce, are going to play an increasingly important role as we go up the economic ladder. It is for no mean reason that every country in the world today wants to enter into a trade deal with India. Every country. If you see my last 3 days, I've had an engagement with Chile, who wants to conclude the FTA this week if possible. We are launching Canada, hopefully when the Prime Minister is here on Monday. We should be able to finalize the terms of reference and launch a Canada FTA. Was it yesterday or was it day before yesterday? Difficult to keep track, too many things happening. Probably yesterday, where we've launched negotiations with the 6-nation GCC group. We already have Oman and UAE, but now the rest, the other 4 don't want to be left behind. So we have launched, we'll now have an FTA with all 6 Middle Eastern countries, and we have 1 crore Indians who live and work in these 6 countries. I had a video conference with my counterpart from Eurasia, with whom we are actively engaged in an FTA conversation. I had a call with Mexico to see how we could have a trading arrangement with them. Unfortunately, because of their local situation, it's been deferred by a week. Only on Saturday, we had the President of Brazil, President Lula, and we've discussed expanding our preferential trade agreement with the 4-nation Mercosur grouping. I'm only saying all this to give you a flavor of what the world expects from us. They look up to India, India's decisive leadership, our demographic dividend, our youth power, our talent, our skill. They recognize the India of tomorrow as a country who will power world growth. And it is this journey in which each one of you is invited to participate. Let us together make the best out of all of these opportunities opening up for us, because ultimately we can only open the doors for you. It will be all our entrepreneurs, all our business persons, all of you in this room and beyond who will have to take this message to every single MSME in this country, to every farmer organization, to every farmer, to every fisherman, to every exporter, current or future, and encourage them not only to be competitive and efficient, as our panelists were guiding us, but also to grab the opportunities that await us across the world. It is you, ladies and gentlemen, who will have to ultimately take this country in the Amrit Kal to Viksit Bharat, a developed, a prosperous nation when we celebrate 100 years of independence in 2047. It will have to be all of us collectively looking out for each other. If we have to be Atmanirbhar, if India has to be self-reliant, if our value chains have to be secure, resilient, we will have to support each other. And I don't mean that we don't import anything. I don't mean that we have everything to be made in India. There may be certain things that we will still continue to import. But we have to cautiously and carefully ensure that our supply chains are safe. They won't get disrupted. These free trade agreements provide that framework which ensure resilience in our supply chains, which ensure free flow of goods. And I'm sure that all of us in this room collectively recognize that this is India's time. And I'm very, very confident that young India will not let this country down. Our entrepreneurs are winners of today. Those who may not have been recognized as entrepreneurs of the year this time around will certainly aspire to be here receiving the award next year or the year after. But this journey of growth will continue relentlessly, and each one of you will help us power this growth. My best wishes to all of you. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you so much, sir. That was insightful and powerful. Big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, and I request you to kindly stay on stage, sir. I would like to also invite back on stage, Mr. Rajiv Memani, and of course, our jury chair, Mr. Sajjan Jindal, to the stage. Thank you all so much. We have these stalwarts here on stage as we begin our awards for the evening. We now come to the first award for this evening, and this one is the Special Jury Award. This year, the jury has decided to give a Special Jury Award to recognize a person who has made a profound impact, not just on a particular sector or a business, but on our entire nation. A person who has racked up achievement after achievement and also filled our hearts with pride. Ladies and gentlemen, the Special Jury Award. To do the citation, I'd like to request on stage Jury Chair Mr. Sajjan Jindal to please read the citation and announce the winner of the Special Jury Award.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. A past EY Entrepreneur of the Year and World Entrepreneur of the Year winner and a past jury chair of this very prestigious program, Uday has shaped India's financial landscape with vision and integrity. He is the architect of one of India's foremost financial institutions, which is among India's largest private sector banks, an institution built through disciplined leadership and long-term thinking. He is not just a banker, but a trusted financial advisor and a sounding board to many in this room, and a very special friend to me, personally. When the country faced a crisis at a large NBFC, the Government of India entrusted him with the responsibility of leading its board. He stabilized the institution in an orderly fashion during a period of intense scrutiny with his calm and thoughtful diplomacy. In recognition of his exceptional contributions to India's economic and institutional strength, he was recently conferred the Padma Bhushan. Ladies and gentlemen, it's our privilege to honor Mr. Uday Kotak.
Congratulations, and before we invite Mr. Kotak up on stage, we have a short film paying tribute to his illustrious and fantastic career. Take a look.
Born into a cotton trading family, Uday Kotak did his MBA and chose to branch out into financial services.
So Kotak Mahindra really started with bill discounting. We started very small. Initially, we raised capital from friends and family. Anand Mahindra put in small amount of capital. There is no piece of paper between us, and it was just between two people who trusted each other.
Retaining a dual name strategy, Uday Kotak soon scaled the business.
Essentially, it was a statement by us that we are putting our name on the line. And in 1989, we started car finance. We then after went into investment banking, joint ventures with Goldman Sachs and Ford Credit, into an asset management business, into life insurance, and in 2003, we were the first non-bank finance company in Indian history to convert into a bank.
Under his leadership, Kotak Mahindra became a household name in the financial sector.
We started eyeing how we could grow faster in banking. So we saw an opportunity to acquire ING Vaishya Bank, and we merged ING Vaishya Bank into Kotak Mahindra Bank. The journey continued and we started a digital banking business. We've been able to create so much of employment for people. We have been able to create an institution.
Today, Kotak Mahindra is recognized as a financial services conglomerate with Kotak Mutual Fund, Kotak Mahindra Life Insurance, Kotak Mahindra General Insurance, Kotak Securities, and of course, Kotak Mahindra Bank. And Uday Kotak is much more than just a banker. He is an icon of Indian industry with a clear vision for his beloved India.
I am a believer in the India long-term story. I would love to see research, I would love to see innovation, and I'm very committed to doing my bit for building India and making our nation proud. We have to continue to enjoy the journey and never chase a destination.
Among his numerous achievements, he has won the EY India Entrepreneur of the Year Award, the EY World Entrepreneur of the Year Award. He has been made chairman of Gift City, and he has recently been conferred with India's Padma Bhushan. Ladies and gentlemen, the EY Entrepreneur of the Year Special Jury Award winner, Padma Bhushan, Mr. Uday Kotak.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The winner of the EY Entrepreneur of the Year Special Jury Award, Padma Bhushan, Uday Kotak. Congratulations, Mr. Kotak. Sir, we'd be truly honored if you could please say a few words. Thank you.
Thank you, Piyush, for receiving this award, and to Sajjan, the chairman of the jury, and of course, Rajiv and all the other jury members, most of them, all of them probably familiar faces. As I mentioned earlier, there are 5 things I feel like sharing with this group today. First, let's all continue to be committed to the Indian adventure, to build India. And I genuinely feel our aspiration has to be the top 2, Piyush. And let's raise the bar. So that is one. Second, I do feel that the time has come for India to move from a pace which is evolutionary to a pace which is revolutionary. We have to move at great speed because time is against many other nations while India is still young. India has the opportunity now with this young generation to catch speed. The Chinese generation is now getting into an older age, and that's true for most of the other developed worlds. And therefore here, as a person who has seen the evolution of the Indian journey, let's be in a sense of hurry to make the India dream happen. And I'm very, very confident that we will break barriers despite all challenges. And I take this opportunity to congratulate all the winners here. And at heart, I'm always an entrepreneur and will be delighted to see Indian entrepreneurship flourish. Thank you very much, and thank you all.
Congratulations once again, sir, and thank you so much for your incredible contribution. Congratulations. I would request Shri Goyal, Mr. Jindal, and Mr. Memani to please continue to stay on stage for our awards. Now, before we move on, I would like to once again take a moment to thank our wonderful sponsors, our mobility sponsor, Mahindra Electric Automobile Limited, and of course, our celebration partner, Diageo Group. Thank you so much for your incredible support. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to end the weeks and months of suspense as we come up to the first category of this evening. This award honors individuals who reimagine and recreate the world we live in every day. They're the ones who disrupt, invent, and innovate, because the category is Startup. I'd like to invite jury member Ms. Shweta Jalan to kindly grace the stage and announce the winner.
Good evening, everyone. The winner of this category set out to bring order to a fragmented and opaque industry after spotting deep inefficiencies. Leveraging advanced technology, they built a system that seamlessly matches business demand with contractor supply, solving a long-standing problem of asset underutilization. Their profitable logistics as a service model has grown by 58% in 2025. And has increased profitability for millions of small and medium enterprises. Their cash-efficient and asset-light model earned them the status of the unicorn in 2025. Please join me in welcoming the startup duo Piyush Goyal and Uttam Digga of Porter.
Congratulations! Once again on this wonderful win, and thank you so much, Ms. Jalan, for so graciously reading out the citation and announcing the winner. The next category recognizes and rewards entrepreneurs who cracked the great Indian consumer. But who is the great Indian consumer? It's a person who will research a product for 6 weeks, wait for the sale, apply random coupons constantly, some who are outdated also, demand free installation, free delivery, free demo, and then a callback from senior management, and still feel like they left something on the table. Understanding this consumer is not a business skill, it is a spiritual practice. Which is why we celebrate these entrepreneurs who somehow get it right through this wonderful category of awards, and the category is Consumer Product and Retail. I'd like to invite jury member Mr. Harsh Mariwala to please grace the stage and announce the winner. It's wonderful to see you, sir.
Good evening to all of you. It's my pleasure to announce the winner of Consumer Products and Retail segment. Scale, innovation, and resilience defines his journey of reshaping a legacy enterprise into a diversified growth engine. I've known his father, I've known his uncle, and he has come and transformed the company completely. First time I met him today only. Under his leadership, his company expanded from its roots as a commercial cooling specialist into the residential market to build a strong presence in room air conditioners and later expand into adjacent categories. Backed by sustained R&D investment, category-dominating products, and 7 manufacturing facilities across India, the company has driven strong organic growth, expanded internationally to 49 countries, and built a reputation for innovation, quality, and customer trust. Please welcome on stage our winner of EOY, Consumer Products and Retail category, Veer S. Advani of Blue Star.
Congratulations! What a wonderful, well-deserved win for Mr. Advani. Congratulations, sir. The winner, Consumer Products and Retail, Veer S. Advani. Congratulations on this glorious, well-deserved win. I'm going to once again request Mr. Mariwala to please stay with us on stage to announce our next winner. The next award honors entrepreneurs who have been pillars of Indian economy and have always been responsible for our nation's self-reliance. The category is manufacturing.
So, over 3 decades ago, the winner began with a focused industrial venture and steadily expanded into a broader integrated manufacturing ecosystem. As India's demand for engineering solutions increased, he moved up the value chain by building domestic capability and inorganic expansion in his product portfolio, thereby becoming a trusted partner for leading consumer and industrial brands. What stands out is not just growth, but foresight in building the infrastructure behind everyday comfort and mobility while staying firmly grounded in operational excellence. Measured and practical, this Make in India champion is shaping India's manufacturing backbone. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating Jasbir Singh of Amber Enterprises.
Congratulations, Mr. Singh. A huge round of applause. Congratulations once again. Ladies and gentlemen, before we proceed to the next award, I would also like to let you know that after this event, we have a fantastic cognac and chocolate soiree in the cocktail area outside. So please do stay back for that. And now, back to the main event, where we move to a category of entrepreneurs who provide their customer with something intangible, yet valuable, a service that impacts our lives. Yes, you've guessed it right. The category is services. May I request and invite jury member Mr. Nilesh Gupta to the stage to read the citation and announce the winner.
Bad times do not scare the brave. When banks globally were falling like 9 pins during the global financial crisis of 2008, this first generation entrepreneur found an opportunity in providing wealth management services to India's growing population. Through several bold acquisitions, he grew and went on to serve leading Indian and global clients and has emerged as one of the country's top wealth and alternative asset management firm. A round of applause for the winner of the EOY Services Award, Karan Bhagat of 361 Wealth Asset Management.
What a wonderful win, Mr. Karan Bhagat. Congratulations. And now moving on, in life, the great thing about India is that India has absolutely no shortage of medical opinion. First, we have the internet, then there is the neighbor, and then of course, most powerfully, the uncle on the family WhatsApp group who always says, nahi, 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 ye kuch nahi hai, main batata hu. Who has single-handedly diagnosed 16 people this month alone and not lost a moment's sleep about it. But then there are our leaders who went the other way entirely. They planned to build laboratories instead of opinions, developed molecules instead of theories, and are rewriting what medicine can do for humanity, one breakthrough at a time. So tonight we celebrate the ones who actually did the work. And by the way, that uncle tonight will not be receiving the award because the category is Life Sciences and Healthcare. I request our jury member, Mr. Nilesh Gupta, to read the citation and announce the winner.
Thereby, the recommendation was to get you back on stage, but this entrepreneur created a strong moat by steadily deepening capabilities in high value and complex molecules, creating fully integrated end-to-end CRDMO services for global clients. Through better capacity utilization and improved operation efficiencies, he has delivered sustained profitability and industry-leading EBITDA margins. A chemical engineer from IIT Delhi, he steered his company to a successful IPO in 2025, which was oversubscribed 63 times, and is now leading the company's push towards digital transformation. Please join me in welcoming our winner, Ajay Bhardwaj of Anthem Biosciences.
Congratulations, Mr. Bhardwaj. Winner, Life Sciences and Healthcare. Congratulations once again, and thank you so much, Mr. Gupta. With that, we now proceed to our next award. Our next award is a tribute to the turnaround men and women, the people who transform businesses, often launching them into an even higher orbit. The category is Business Transformation. And I'd like to request our jury member, Mr. Saurabh Agarwal, to read the citation and announce the winner. Thank you so much, Mr. Agarwal.
Good evening, everyone. This is very much a sector which Rajiv refers to as the next phase of growth for India. The second generation entrepreneur has not merely grown a business, he has transformed India's manufacturing landscape. By aligning with Make in India, investing deeply in R&D and design, and forging global partnerships, he has built the backbone behind manufacturing of some of the world's leading smartphone and consumer electronics brands. His journey is reflected in 5-year-old revenue growth in just 4 years. But beyond numbers, he has transformed India's modern electronics manufacturing ecosystem and is inspiring an entire generation of entrepreneurs to scale with excellence. Ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together for Mr. Sunil Vachani of Dixon Technologies.
Congratulations to our winner for Business Transformation, Mr. Sunil Vachani. Congratulations. Congratulations once again, and thank you, Mr. Agarwal, for that wonderful citation. Now, ladies and gentlemen, being an entrepreneurial CEO is a truly difficult job. You're expected to A, be a visionary on Monday, operational on Tuesday, and inspirational every single day in between. So with that, may I invite jury member Mr. Ravi Lamba to please grace the stage and announce the winner in this category. Thank you, Mr. Lamba.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. So, in 2013, the winner of this award returned to an industry that was entering one of its most defining phases. You heard him on the video. Amid rapid disruption, intense competition, he chose disciplined execution and guided the business with clarity and resilience. Respected globally for his vision, he also serves on the boards of international telecom companies, carrying the story of Indian telecom innovation to the world. 13 years as MD and CEO, and now as Vice Chairman, he is shaping the group strategy and future-proofing his organization, which has stood the test of time. Today, as intelligence systems and AI work silently to protect conversations and filter unwanted noise, his legacy feels fitting. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to ask you to please join me in a round of big applause for Gopal Vittal of Bharti Airtel.
Congratulations. And I don't know much about them, but real estate, that we all know or have heard. In India, three things are discussed with equal passion: cricket, politics, and then real estate. And somehow everyone has an opinion on where to buy, what's coming up, where the airport's going to be, what to pay, and why you should have brought or purchased something 10 years ago when it was cheaper. That's the classic story. With that, I request our jury member, Mr. Dilip Sangvi, to kindly grace the stage to read the citation and announce the winner in this very vast category. Thank you for doing this, sir. Let's have a round of applause. Let's not stop the love and the applause and the appreciation. Thank you.
This second generation entrepreneur succeeded his father and led the group's transformation into one of the industry's foremost players. He expanded from a single city, single market segment into a diversified real estate company spanning mid-income housing, new city developments, large commercial estates across India. While doing so, he strengthened annuity business across offices, retail, warehousing, and property management, scaling revenues more than 60-fold from 236 crore in 2010 to over 13,000 crore in FY25. He is now charting bold growth across new markets and future growth sectors, including making an ambitious entry into data centers. Please put your hands together for the winner, Abhishek Lodha of the Lodha Group.
Congratulations to Mr. Abhishek Lodha. What a glorious win. Congratulations. once again. Of course, remain on stage with us. And congratulations, sir. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the big one, the award we have all been waiting for. The entrepreneur who stands in a league apart, who will be honored with the highest award of the evening and will also represent India at the EY World Entrepreneur of the Year Awards to be held in Monte Carlo in June this year. So hold on to your breath, but not to your applause, as we reveal the winner of the EY Entrepreneur of the Year 2025. And to put us all out of our suspense, I would like to request our jury chair, Mr. Sajjan Jindal, to read the citation and announce the winner of the EY Entrepreneur of the Year Award 2025.
So, our winner tonight saw an unfinished system waiting to be built. What began as a simple idea of discovery grew into infrastructure of modern Bharat, weaving a fabric of unity that connects an entire ecosystem of partners and millions of customers. He helped transform how a nation finds food, orders groceries, and reimagines everyday conveniences. Through shifting market dynamics and hard questions, he kept building for the long term, kept recalibrating, and led the transition of a homegrown startup into a Nifty 50 index. And now, with his sights on aviation, health, and beyond, one thing seems clear. The meal was never really the point. Sheher badle, roles badle, par hunger wahi rahi. For him, it is always about the distance between a problem and its solution. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the EY Entrepreneur of the Year 2025, Dipinder Goyal.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Dipinder Goyal. Unfortunately, due to a medical emergency in the family, Mr. Dipinder Goyal could not travel and be with us in person for the ceremony, but we do have him joining us live on screen. So we're going to try to connect that. There you are. Congratulations, Mr. Goyal, on this glorious, well-deserved win. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Request you to please say a few words, sir.
I would just say thank you so much. It's been an honor. And we have a lot of decades worth of work yet to go. And I hope we continue to make you all proud.
What a wonderful one. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, our EY Entrepreneur of the Year 2025, Mr. Dipinder Goyal. Congratulations once again, and thank you for all the incredible work you do. Thank you. And with that, sir, request to please remain on stage, because for the finale, I'm going to request all our winners, all our distinguished jury members to please come back up on stage for our celebratory toast. So let's have you all up on stage, please. Thank you. It will be a fantastic way to have you all on stage together. What a photo op that would be. So let's I'm inviting you all back on stage, please, all the winners, and of course the jury members, without whose work we probably wouldn't have been here at all. Thank you.
To create a
What a beautiful photo of all our wonderful super achievers here together on one stage for the EY Entrepreneur of the Year India.
Burning bright, symbols of a glowing light. Entrepreneurs change the world for everyone. Celebrate.
fabulous winners. We're going to try to have a toast on stage. So request you all to stay back for just a second. I think we have a small toast on stage that has been arranged. Please, request our winners and jury members to stay back for just a toast. So if you stepped off stage, let's have you back on stage. Jury members, winners, don't run off.
They can conquer.
And as they celebrate this wonderful toast together on stage,
they have strength.
And before we bring the fabulous event to a close, I must remind you all, ladies and gentlemen, that the highlights of this event will be broadcast on CNBC-TV18 on the 12th of March, 7:30 p.m. That's right, CNBC-TV18, 12th of March at 7:30 p.m. So get your friends and family to watch this wonderful, glorious show on the 12th of March at 7:30 p.m. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank a few people and organizations without whom this event would not have been possible. I'd like to thank Adipocha and the wonderful team at Squircle Productions, Hyperlink Brand Solutions, CNBC TV18, Geo World Convention Center, our mobility sponsor, Mahindra Electric.
EY Entrepreneur of the Year, India, 27 years, celebrating shapers of India's future.